gets so awkward. Okay, perfect example of what I'm about to talk about. So just wanted to talk quickly about why I think YouTube is so amazing for shy and introverted people like myself. YouTube hasn't always been YouTube as we know it. YouTube has changed a lot. I don't remember when YouTube started, but I remember what type of people I watched. The people that I would watch on YouTube was not shy and introverted people. Quite the contrast. They were fun, they were bubbly, extroverted, they were not afraid to go out there and do crazy stuff. It was a lot of pranks, there was a lot of action. As you grow older, you start to think like, it would be so much fun to do YouTube, but I could never do that because I don't have that type of energy. I am not that type of person. But like I said, YouTube has changed, and for the better. I think YouTube isn't anymore a place for only one type of person or one type of niche. YouTube has become something that everyone can do, and everyone can find people like themselves. And that's also one of the reasons why I spend probably more time on YouTube than any other app. I just wanted to mention a couple of things that I think is worth mentioning to anyone out there who is finding themselves to be a little bit reserved, a little bit shy, a little bit quiet, a little bit afraid to take space. It doesn't mean that even though you're shy that you can't have a YouTube and thrive with it. I'm not saying that I'm thriving, but you can. Basically anyone on the planet with access to camera and internet can do that. Being a little bit on the reserved side of the spectrum, I guess. Personally, I tend to not be in charge when I am in social settings. I tend to give the control or let someone else take charge of whatever situation we're in. YouTube is not like that, YouTube is just you. No one's gonna boss you around. It's your YouTube channel. You can do whatever you want. You're in charge of coming up with ideas, filming, you're in charge of editing, making a thumbnail, titles, scripting, whatever. The beauty of that is that you're put in a situation that you normally sort of flee from. I tend to flee from situations where I'm in charge. I don't like being in charge when there are other people around. I like to be in charge of myself, but I don't like to be in charge of other people because I like to think that, out of these 5 people in this room, I don't have the best ideas. I don't want to tell people what to do. I don't like to be told what to do either, but I like to hear what other people has to say before I make up my own mind, if that makes sense. YouTube is different. I think it's nice to create this sort of space where you are the only one in charge. Okay, I'm actually considering doing something really, really crazy. I haven't 100% planned this next segment, but I think I'm just gonna wing it. So let's do it. Oh, hi there. So happy you could join me. Was that awkward? I hate when I have to redo things, but ironically that's what this segment is about. So we're gonna try that again. Well, hello there. I'm so happy you could join me. I'm gonna cut my hair. The lighting is so off and I apologize a million times, but these are thinning shears. So I'm gonna thin out my hair, which I have never done before, by the way. So this is gonna be really, really fun. I beg your finest pardon. I've been struggling with having thick hair my whole life, obviously. Thick hair isn't something that you just magically wake up with. It's all genetics. Lucky me. And I know that it's such a pick-me thing to say that I have thick hair and I don't want it, because everyone wants thick hair, It looks so luscious, it looks so pretty. Newsflash, it's not. I was talking about how you can just reshoot every time you mess up, which is amazing. I don't know if it has everything to do with being shy and introverted, because some people are just naturally good at speaking and getting their point across on the first try. I am not one of those blessed people. I have to reshoot. Sometimes I'm lucky, sometimes I mess up and I can't say what I'm supposed to say for my life. I hope I don't have to reshoot this scene, because I don't know how much hair I'm gonna have left. Something's telling me that I'm cutting a little much some places. Oh my god. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So another thing about creating a YouTube channel is that you get so much better at speaking. And not just like speaking in general, but like speaking to a camera especially. So most people think it's really uncomfortable to speak to a camera, which I find very normal. You're not special if you think that's uncomfortable. I think it's uncomfortable too. That's why I'm pushing myself to do this. Like today, for example, I didn't want to go out because it's weird and people look at you and people think that you're weird, but who cares? Honestly, as long as you're not doing anything illegal and you're just having fun and you're growing as a person, I mean, there's nothing wrong about it. There is just, it's only benefits. Right now, I'm outside in the park. If you asked me 1 year ago if I would ever be doing what I'm doing right now, I would have said hell to the no, because why would I put myself in such an uncomfortable situation, right? Like, it doesn't get worse than this, especially when you are shy. I think that makes it just more important for you to do it. There's this barrier that you kind of just need to like cross, and once you cross it, it doesn't really matter. I live in a country where it's normal to be introverted. It's very normal to keep your thoughts for yourself in a way. I don't know why that is. I think it's part of our culture. It's part of Norwegian culture. And it's interesting though. I find it very interesting because I, as a millennial, Norwegian millennial, grew up in the 90s. I grew up with Hollywood, watching American TV shows and American pop culture, which is very different from that, you know. American culture is very extroverted, very different. You're familiar with it, but you don't practice it in normal settings. I think that's one of the reasons why I've become so fluent, I guess you can say, in English, because I just speak to myself all the time. And I think it's fun. I think it's fun to get better at formulating sentences and just becoming better at articulating what you're thinking. And it's such a good skill to develop as a human. If you're trying to make videos for YouTube and you are a little bit shy like me and you're scared to put your foot outside the door and do things, my advice for you would be to just do it. Wow, shocking, yes. But again, you don't have to do it in the most crowded places. Like there are places where I feel it's a lot easier to make these kinds of videos, and there's places where I get the thickest social anxiety that is like no amount of confidence can like pierce through that anxiety. It's just so bad because it's just like a normal reaction to your fear. And I go mute. When I'm scared, I don't say anything. I'm just like super quiet. So if I feel that type of anxiety, I'm just not going to be able to do anything. I'm not going to be able to make videos like this. Choose places where you feel the most comfortable, but at the same time push yourself to like be a little bit better. Let's see how beautiful it is in Oslo in fall. Okay, I'm sorry, I haven't fixed my background or anything. It's not very YouTube friendly anyway, but I'm trying to make my videos look professional, but I'm starting to realize that it takes a lot more work and effort than that I'm giving. Like, I want my videos to seem casual. I want them to be like it's just you and me sitting here in my living room, and that's kind of like the vibe I'm trying to go for. Fuck, I need to put on the Gorilla Pods again. By the way, I just bought a new tripod for my camera because currently I'm using the Gorilla Pod. This is the 3K, I believe. It's been fine, but I don't know if you noticed, but I've been struggling with this little guy. It makes a lot of noise whenever you're trying to adjust it. I'm finding it a little bit troubling to adjust it, and especially when I'm on the go and I just want things to be like, okay, let's do this quickly. It just needs to go fast, you know? And when this thing doesn't cooperate, it gets a little awkward. So anyway, I ordered a new tripod. It's an Olanzi TT38. I'm excited, very excited. So I was talking about like why YouTube is so nice for shy and introverted people. You also gain a lot of confidence, and confidence is something that you kind of build up. I would say the older you get, it naturally increases with the years. I'm sorry if I look crazy, by the way. You sort of have to, though. You sort of don't have any choice. If you're choosing to sit down with a camera and speak to it, because what's the point? If you're uncomfortable, you kind of just have to learn to overcome that fear of being uncomfortable. I mean, I think everyone is uncomfortable in the beginning. Everyone feels that same way about doing something new, just like viewing your old videos and just see the progress that you make. It helps your confidence as well. It's definitely helped me. I like to see how I was in the beginning and how I am now, in the way I carry myself, in the way I talk, what I talk about. It's interesting. By recording all these thoughts that I have, it makes it easier for me to see where I'm going. I've always been afraid of presenting, not just like speaking to a crowd, but presenting something that you've been thinking about for a long time. Maybe you're confronting someone. Maybe you have thought about a certain topic, or you want to tell a certain story to someone, and you've been thinking about how you are doing it. You've been visualizing yourself telling this story. Maybe you told it to yourself in the mirror. You want it to sit perfectly, right? Like, it could be whatever situation. It could be, for example, a confrontation. But the problem is when you overthink it, you get nervous and you get stressed. So when it comes down to it, and you sit there with this person and you're just not able to get your point across because you've been overthinking it so many times. And that's the type of anxiety that I have experienced. The fear, I don't know if there's a word for it, like social anxiety is such a broad term. I think everyone has some form of social anxiety, but this is more like the fear of presenting and the fear of not being precise enough. You just want the other person to know exactly what you're thinking. That's been a thing for me, that I just like, listen, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I'm thinking, and then I want a response to that. Making these videos have really helped me with that. It also helps me a lot opening up, because sometimes you walk around with tons of thoughts that you never say out loud, and you don't always know that you have those thoughts before you say them out loud. I don't know, it just feels easier when you talk about it. It's almost like your camera is your therapist. You just open up about whatever's on your mind, and it's freeing. It's very freeing. You feel lighter afterwards, and it's a nice feeling. So for me, yes, YouTube definitely has helped with confidence. It has helped me with presenting when I want to speak about a certain topic. I don't really script anything, but I've learned a lot from this YouTuber named Jason and how he does things. I kind of see a lot of myself in him, and I'm very inspired by him and other creators who does the same thing. And I'm trying to like build my vlogs in a similar way, where I want to make my vlogs cinematic. That's a part that I need to figure out how I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna create something exciting from a boring, normal, everyday life. Because I don't live in a fancy apartment, I don't have a fancy job, I don't have a fancy life. It's very normal, very boring to me. And I'm thinking it's boring to everyone, but for some people it might be interesting. It might be more interesting than you think, but I want to paint it in an artistic way by creating cinematic shots and experiment with angles, with lighting, with colors, with storytelling. That's something that I'm working on. It's definitely a work in progress. Everything is a work in progress. You're never finished product. That's what makes it exciting. I'm really happy that I started this journey, and definitely the confidence part is so crucial for your growth. You just have to get in that state of mind. And if you are able to get in that state of mind wherever you are, even if you're in public where there's people and people might be looking at you, people might be laughing at you, if you can still stay in that state of mind, it just means that you made it. For me, that's my definition of making it. If I can just give 0 fucks about people and only focus about what I'm here to do, what is my mission, I'm gonna get this done, and I'm gonna stay focused, then that would be the most rewarding thing for me. Now I'm gonna make myself a nice breakfast. I think it's gonna be porridge. That's it for now. I hope you guys have a blessed weekend and a blessed week. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this type of content, please give me a like and a follow, and I'll see you in the next video.